Hello, Amber.
Hi.
Welcome to our little video interview. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations again for winning your first ICU Grand Prix gold medal.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, can you tell us how it was the moment you were sitting in the kiss and cry, you knew you had made a couple of mistakes, and describe your emotion when you saw that you have won.
Yeah, I kind of knew around the score that I needed to get in order to win and place on the podium. So I wasn't sure if what I did was quite enough. I knew that the first mistake on the axle was, it's okay, things happen. And the last two were very unexpected. It was just purely, I land those so well in practice every day. When I took off, I was like, oh, I'm okay, I'm good. And so I didn't really stick the landing, like really try that hard. I was just like, oh, I'm good, just land. And it kind of was like, oh no. So it was just a little bit of just finding how sharp and how excited I need to be versus calming down. But I feel like I found that good balance in the short program. Now I just need to translate it into the free. But it was a thrill to see the scores come up and win.
What does it mean to you to have won your first gold medal? I mean, you had a bronze medal at the Grand Prix before, but coming from behind, actually.
Yes.
Adam,
Yeah.
I remember that. But now to have this under your belt, how important is that to you?
Extremely. I mean, it's incredible. It's something that is definitely going to take a little bit to process and to kind of accept the role that I'm in as one of the top skaters now. It just doesn't feel real, especially because of how long I've been in the senior ranks and competing and Grand Prix. For this to be the first time that I'm at the top, it is something that I need to embrace and believe in rather than doubting myself, and that's going to take a lot of work, but I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, you said so that because you have done a lot of mental work, because in the past sometimes it happened that you had a great, one program was great, the other one not so great, or you made a mistake and then after that things fell apart.
Right.
So, but this time you really held it together, even when there were some errors. So what did you change? What has changed for you?
Yeah, I've really looked at it from a medical standpoint rather than just beating myself up mentally. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Why did I think this? And it's been really comforting to know that it's not just me thinking the wrong things. It's that my brain, the chemicals, the way it lights up is just going into a hyperactive mode, and that I'm literally training my brain to calm down and to come out of a fight or flight state. And I feel like it's been really helpful. It's still hard to do since I've been in that fight or flight for so long with heightened anxiety, with my concussions happening. It's just gotten kind of worse and worse and worse. So I would skate more hot and cold. It'd be really great or really not so great. So being able to find that balance through neurotherapy and meditation has been really important.
I was just wondering, you said you knew what score to expect. So did you actually follow what went on before you skated? And you were last to skate. How was that different or more difficult for you?
Yeah, I actually, in the past, have always kind of known. I did the same thing in Italy. I knew what the score ahead of me was and knew what the score I needed to get was. So I really did try and fight for as many points as I could, because I knew, I kept hearing 200, 199, 200 this, 200 this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like people are doing really good. Like I had a good lead in the short, so it wasn't as strenuous, but you know, this was the highest scoring ladies Grand Prix so far. I was like, oh, whoa, okay. People are, and I heard the audience cheering so loud. So usually for me, having that, okay, I know what they got, rather than just hearing the audience go crazy and seeing either someone getting off the ice bawling, crying, or like being so ecstatic, instead of me wondering, oh, I wonder what they got, I wonder what they did, I wonder what da, 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 da. Usually just seeing it and being like, okay, that's what they did. All right, time to do my job, usually is a bit more helpful and helps with my anxiety, so I'm no longer wondering. Or else it'll just pop into my brain when I'm skating. And I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. I wonder if this person made a mistake. Oh my God, I'm skating. So it usually helps with that a little bit. It's unusual, but yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because some dancers are really afraid. They don't want to see or hear anything.
Yeah. I used to, but then I'd get curious while skating.
Yeah, well, it's good. Ilya does it too.
Yeah.
He always follows, and Nathan did it. Yeah, it's a good point. We wanted to ask us a little bit on your programs. They're both new, and they're also very different from each other. Can you talk a little bit about how you came to choose them and how you work on them?
Yeah, Caitlin Weaver had mentioned in the past that she had a piece of music set aside for me, and she said it was Janet Jackson, and it was originally supposed to be a free skate. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do that. That's woof. Because when you listen to Janet Jackson, it's a bit different from what my short program music is. So I was a little nervous, and I was like, no, I can't do that. And maybe in the future. And then eventually this year, she was like, okay, it's this music, but it's going to be a short program. Here it is. Take a listen. And it's like a 6 or 7 minute piece originally. And when I first heard it, I was like, this is Janet Jackson? Really? And it was incredible. It's rock opera is the genre, and it's really fun. There's a lot of fun beats. There's a lot of interesting musicality moments that Caitlin has choreographed so well. I'm trying my best to do what she showed me, but it's very difficult. And we've gotten to work together on it twice so far, and it's been a really good time, and I'm excited to see how it keeps evolving. And my free skate, we really looked at last year and what the strengths were in it, and I really did love that program. But around halfway through, I would get kind of distracted. And we looked at that and said, okay, this is what the order of elements needs to be. Let's find a piece of music that works with that. So instead of just picking music and then choreographing to it, we thought, okay, this is what's gonna work. Let's find something we can cut to this, and that'll work the best for me mentally. Since it's such a longer program, in the short program, you kind of go element, done. There's no time to stop and do, choreography, and like footwork's usually at the end. It's just go, go, go. Versus the free skate, there's some time in between to where my mind would wander and it'd be hard. So we really found a piece of music that helps me stay locked in and focused on what I'm doing. I still have some struggles, but I'm working on it. And it's this beautiful piece. When I heard it, I thought of like sirens and mermaids and just kind of being in the water, and I really loved it. It's a beautiful piece of music along with siren vocals, just like extracted and put in. And my choreographer, as well as Ben Augusto, they worked together, their husband and wife, they worked together and cut that music. And it took months and months and months to find. And when I finally heard it, it was perfect, so.
And so who was your choreographer again?
Catherine Hill.
Ah.
Yeah, Catherine Hill Augusto, yeah.
In the short program, there is a very strong song, and also has very strong lyrics.
Yes.
Do you relate to that in any way, or do you listen?
A little bit. Definitely with this time you've gone too far. Like, I will be nice and empathetic and kind up until a point, because if you pass that limit, it's out the window. Like, you can't do that. And I relate to that very much, because I want to be a kind, empathetic, and loving person. That's just who I am and what I enjoy. It's hard for me to get mad and stay mad, but setting boundaries, being like, this is the point, and if you go past that, you're out of here. And it's kind of me just performing in that, as well as just embodying a strong, powerful woman.
Finding these boundaries, I guess that's something you had to also learn over the years. Yeah.
Yes,
it can
very important. It can be very hard, especially when you are a people pleaser and you don't want to upset anyone and you think of others first instead of yourself. But sometimes those boundaries, they need to be made for you, but also for others. They need to know what is healthy and what isn't healthy for both of you. And it's just really, really important.
I just heard you say in another interview that empathy is your superpower, but also a weakness of yours. Maybe you can elaborate that a little bit.
Yeah, so I feel like it comes from a point of just caring a lot about others and their experiences and putting myself in their shoes and how my actions affect others. So when someone else is upset, I will feel that for them and want to do what I can to help or just be there as someone to listen. And taking on all of that is a lot for one person. So I want to be someone who can help others and just listen and support, but I also have to make sure that I am healthy myself and that I'm okay. And that's a really hard boundary for me to set. And, you know, you never want to cross any lines and you want to make sure that you're in a good place yourself. So I feel like it can be very helpful because it helps people around you. You feel good, but also it's a lot of weight to carry sometimes.
Definitely. But you do make a lot of friends and a lot of people love you along the way because you're so caring. Yeah, also we had here at this competition, Camden Pulkinen came and said you're one of his best friends. I remember Jimmy Ma speaking so appreciative of you, saying you're longtime friends. What does these friendships mean to you also in skating?
It's amazing. I mean, having people like that and coming to events, it's always such a great opportunity because you get to catch up. These people I've known for over a decade. I mean, I was at Andrew Torgashev's first ever JGP. And we were just talking about how, wow, and neither of us medaled at that JGP, and now we're both Grand Prix medalists. How far we've come, and I know what we've all had to overcome to get here. So having these relationships throughout the hard times and the successes and supporting each other and knowing what the other person is like and being able to uplift them has been great. And I feel like the skating community overall has really come together over these last couple of years and been a lot more supportive and have been a lot more open with each other because of dark experiences that many of us had many years ago, and trying to prevent stuff like that from happening by communicating more and by trusting in each other. I feel like it's been really important.
Yeah, definitely. I also wanted to touch, it has to do with that as well a little bit, because now we see female skaters in their 20s at the top. Here at the Grand Prix in France, we had you, and also Wakaba is 23, and Rion is 21, and also Kaori. So we have lots of very top skaters that are in their 20s. What does that mean to the sport, that we have like older skaters?
Yeah. I think it is really important because, one, they're going to take better care of themselves because they know, oh, in the future I want to make sure I'm still healthy because I could keep going, and not just I need to push myself now at, like, when I was young, you could be a Grand Prix at 15. Oh, I need to be the absolute best I can at 15 because I need to be great right now, and you know, it didn't matter at what cost, because right now is all that mattered. And now I feel like people are really putting their effort into sustainability rather than immediate results, especially with it being 17 now, during that age of growth and puberty, and being able to go through that process healthily rather than just right now, results right now, need best right now. They're able to really grow, not just physically, but emotionally, and go through that process a lot healthier rather than just immediate. You know, in football, basketball, baseball, whatever other sport, you don't see, you know, high schoolers in the NFL. You don't see, you know, 15-year-olds in Major League Baseball for a reason. And it's hard because growing up, for me, it was all, okay, maybe, you know, I'll retire at 18 and I'll be done, and because my body, you know, obviously people don't go past that too much. It was a rarity to see it. And so now seeing the more sustainability and the just overall, I feel like people are enjoying it a bit more and really taking in the journey rather than just focusing exactly on the results right now.
And we still have the technical content. I mean, you do the triple.
Exactly.
Leon does a quattro.
Exactly. And there's so much more to skating than just the Ultra C elements. And of course, those are great. It's amazing. But there's so much that goes into it. You know, you can go out there. I mean, I've done it before where I land the triple axel and I don't do much else. And I didn't win then. So it's about the overall entire thing of skating, and it's just been great to see over this last few years.
The World Championship.
I want to basically to ask the same thing. So now you have been so successful at the beginning of the season. How do you see your season going? What are your goals, objectives? Worlds being in Boston.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah. I mean, I started the season with just one of the goals to be, I want to make it onto that team because it's not guaranteed. I feel like I'm really putting that into a reasonable expectation now with the success I'm having here early in the season. And I want to continue as best I can to train as I am and continue working on that mental side of it, which I believe will come from competing more and more, and just keep progressing as much as I can and stay injury free.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amber.
Of course.
Great talking to you, and we are looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you
so much.
guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.